Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a reading for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's reading, and let's go ahead and get started by shuffling the Energy Oracle Cards deck. By the way, if you feel guided to do so, I would love for you to leave me a comment and let me know how you're feeling, especially around this time of the winter solstice. Okay, the first two cards to come out here are the Crown Chakra reversed and Angel of Balance in the upright position. For some reason, I'm hearing the word spinning or spiraling. So there's someone listening who might have been feeling recently as though you were kind of spiraling out a bit. Or you might be feeling as though your head is spinning. I'm hearing with a lot of thoughts, so it might be a bit busy in your headspace right now. But I feel with the Angel of Balance card that if you are experiencing this sensation of spinning or spiraling, things aren't actually spiraling out of control. They are shifting very quickly into a state of balance. So how are things shifting into this state of balance? Adjacent possibilities in the upright position. Can I get some clarification for this card? Okay, so with adjacent possibilities upright and the broken heart card reversed, I am hearing that in some situation for someone listening, new possibilities had to open up, doors had to open up in order for a heart healing to take place within you. Now, for some of you, this could be a particular situation or love connection that you were really fixated on in the past that may have caused you a lot of pain or heartbreak. And if that is the case, I see that in order to really deeply heal your heart chakra, there had to be this opening up, this expanding into new possibilities or outcomes or even people besides that situation that you may have been really focused on or fixated upon in the past. Now, of course, for some of you, this may not apply directly to a love situation. This could be something else in your life. This could be family or friends that you've had to set boundaries with or walk away from. For some reason, I'm seeing someone moving. So this could resemble someone who had to move away from a place that they grew up in or had to energetically move away from familiar people in order to open themselves up to these new experiences that ultimately would show them how to really be loved and adored and respected. For some reason, I'm picking up on the energy of someone who might be engaging in some type of creative project or endeavor. This could be something that you're very passionate about. In fact, I'm absolutely getting that energy of passion, but this might be business related, financial related. For others of you, this could be highly creative in nature. But regardless, I'm seeing that there may be people closest to you or directly around you or that used to be closest to you who may have actually not been actively supportive of really what you came here to do on this planet. And as you began tapping in more strongly to that purpose, you may have found that these others in your life began to shift away from you, or there may have been some pain coming up here because the people that you may have expected to support you the most may have actually not offered this support. Now, for some of you, this could be one specific person. For others of you, this could be a group of people. But I really feel someone's spirit guides here saying, you are on the path of something truly great. Something you're working on is going to bring in a lot of whatever you consider to be success. Of course, we define success in different ways. This feels like something that's going to bring a lot of abundance energy into your life as well. You may already be seeing the beginnings of this happening or the manifestations of this. But if not, know that you are very much on the path of this, regardless of whether you have felt unsupported at times by certain people around you. I'm getting the number 999. I'm also hearing something about the month of December. So there could be something very significant taking place in this month we are in right now. As of when I'm recording this reading, it is the month of December. This also could be a birth month for someone listening. For some reason, I'm seeing some type of crystal or gemstone. So someone I'm speaking to may have been working with crystals recently, or you may have received a crystal or will be receiving a crystal from someone as a gift very soon, potentially. I don't know who I'm speaking to there. That feels like a very specific message for someone. And by the way, as I always say, be sure to only take what connects with you personally from these readings, because I do channel many different people and situations. So I'm going to pull a card for you from the Star Seed Oracle deck. The card here is Earth Pulsing, but it was in the reverse position. And typically this card speaks to connecting with nature, slowing down. And because this card was reversed, it tells me that for someone listening, you may have been feeling as though life was really speeding up lately. Again, there's that kind of spinning out, sort of busy, chaotic feeling. And of course, many of us are experiencing this naturally this time of the year, as there are many holidays being celebrated by many different people around the world. And sometimes this can create a sort of collective energy of busyness or chaos. So for someone listening, you might be empathically absorbing some of this chaotic or busy energy, and it could be causing you, as a byproduct of this empathically absorbed energy, to feel as though you are yourself very busy, very much kind of spinning out. And so with this card, take time in nature, slow down. I feel your guides reminding you that everything is aligning, coming together before you, in front of you. I'm hearing there's not so much for you to do as there is for you to energetically mold into place, to imagine, to visualize. Most of your work, regardless of what you do in the physical 3D world, your true work is energetic in nature. It's about the aligning, the shifting, the channeling of energies into whatever you are physically doing activity-wise in the physical 3D world. And I feel your guides reminding you to take that time for yourself, particularly in the morning before you have time to absorb a lot of those chaos frequencies from others or from the collective, to really create that stabilization within yourself. I'm seeing root chakra energy here, a reminder to really ground yourself when you can, to get out into nature when you can, to really reconnect with your inner world, with your breath, with your inner visualizations of what you desire for yourself and your life. And I also see with the weight of the world that there might be the temptation at this time to take on some of the burden from other people, or to feel a lot of the heavier energies from other people in a more intense way. Particularly because collectively this time of the year, many of us are spending more time around family members, around people that we sometimes might not see as frequently during the year. And even as we think ahead to these planned events, there are energetic cords that are being formulated between ourselves and these others. So whenever we have plans with a particular person or group of people, as many of us do around this time of year, we are actually already feeling that futuristic timeline through which we are experiencing those interactions. And so this might be causing some of us who are highly spiritual, who have really done a lot of timeline detachment work, meaning we've really detached ourselves from a lot of those timelines. We might be feeling a bit more heaviness from futuristic timelines that we are necessarily creating with these others we are making plans with than we usually feel. So do be mindful of whatever weights you are carrying, whatever heavy energies that you might be empathically absorbing from others. I'm seeing that water specifically could be a really powerful tool right now for clearing out some of that empathically absorbed energies. So if you live near a river, an ocean, a lake, some kind of body of water, you might want to spend time around it. Otherwise, you can use even something like a shower or a bath to clear out your energy, particularly if you're using something like Epsom salt along with that clearing practice. But with this card, a new earth, I'm seeing that regardless of some of that chaos energy, that busyness energy, you're doing a very important work right now, particularly around all of these connection points, all of these potential events with others that could be happening or upcoming for many of you. You are really holding this higher level energetic frequency, not just for yourself, but for the people that are around you, that are connected to you as well. This is really reminding me of a reading I did the other day on a divine feminine who is stabilizing the energy for a whole group of souls. So if you are connecting with this reading, you might connect with that reading as well. I will leave a link to that in the description box under the video. Here we have man holding a coin upright and angel of strength in the reverse position. It's interesting because as I was speaking about that group of souls you might be stabilizing, I remembered that reading was particularly for divine feminine. So although the messages up to this point have been very collective, meaning they might apply to the masculine or the feminine, as I feel myself shifting into the masculine or the feminine polarity rather, see, I'm already jumping ahead to the fact that when I was channeling into the divine feminine here for a moment, immediately a masculine energy popped up that was very much attached to many divine feminines who are connecting in with this reading. So I'm going to be reshuffling some of the cards here. The man holding a coin card very often represents a masculine who is going through a very major transitional period, some kind of massive evolutionary shift. And also with Angel of Strength reversed, I see this masculine feeling a lot of really raw emotional energy towards the divine feminine that he is attaching to here, but also not really knowing what to do about it in the physical 3D world because we have the strategy card reversed. Like, I'm not sure what to do with all of these emotions I'm feeling towards you, divine feminine. So let's channel into what emotions the divine masculine here is feeling. What emotions is he feeling? Okay, so the first card we have here is empathy. So the masculine is really feeling more strongly the soul bond that the two of you share. And through that bond, he's really opening up to feeling your presence even when you're absent, feeling a lot of your energy. I feel that you and this person do have some type of strong soul bond that causes there to be even more empathic absorption of energy between the two of you than you would normally have with another soul. We have here guilt and honesty. So I see a masculine looking back with feelings of guilt or feelings of regret that he's being forced to face and trying to heal from. And with honesty in the reverse, it's almost as though this honesty is pointed within himself, getting really honest with his own self about these feelings of guilt, about these feelings of regret. So what is this masculine feeling guilty about or regretting? That he pushed away your love with hostilities reversed, that he was fighting against the very love he so desired, because we also have the Angel of Love card in the upright position. Red flowers might be significant to someone, but there's also red hair here as well, or rose quartz. So one of those things might connect with you. So I'm also suddenly feeling this feeling of collective fatigue or tiredness. So some of you listening might be feeling a bit foggy-headed, a bit more tired than usual. You might be having trouble sleeping at this time because of some of the very intense collective energies swirling combined with those winter solstice energies. So I'm not sure why that's coming up right now, but whoever you are feeling that, know that nothing is going wrong here, because we have the cornucopia card in the upright position. So I'm hearing your manifestations are right on track. If there are specific visions you are holding, particular outcomes you are manifesting into reality, I see that not only are any feelings of spiraling out or tiredness or foggy-headedness not delaying your manifestations, but it's a really interesting energy because these symptoms are actually speaking to a really profound crown chakra realignment happening for you that is actually, in a sense, catalyzing or speeding up your manifestations, shifting you in a really powerful way. A download my guides gave me about this, which is really interesting, is how sometimes in TV shows or movies, when there is time travel as part of a theme in the movie, you'll find that the characters, after time traveling, will get sick or feel nauseous or have headaches or just feel very disoriented temporarily. And my guides were telling me that's what's happening right now for many of you listening. You're feeling this kind of spiraling feeling, this disorientation, but really it's because there's this major shift that we could even call timeline traveling, in a sense, where you have shifted onto this higher vibrational timeline that is actually, although of course time doesn't really exist, in some sense, from a human perspective, it's speeding up your manifestations. From an energetic and spiritual perspective, it's aligning you with the timeline where your manifestations are already unfolding, where they are inevitable from that higher timeline. So I'm going to be reshuffling some of the cards here. By the way, in the extended version of the reading, I will be channeling more into the masculine energy coming through here, who's feeling some of that regret, who is processing some of that guilt and taking a really honest look at himself. In the extended reading, we will be channeling into exactly what he is thinking or feeling or experiencing at this time, and anything that he wants to say to the divine feminine he is connected to. So the link to those extended messages is in the pinned comment and description box under the video. Okay, so divine feminine, what else is going on with the divine feminine energy right now? So right away, we have the attachment card upright and the victory card in the reverse position. So I'm picking up that for some divine feminines listening, there may be someone around you. I actually feel this could be a different energy from the masculine who's been coming through here. This feels like this could be a friend, a family member. They are carrying a strong masculine polarity in most cases, regardless of whether they are male or female. But it feels like this person is very much attached to your energy. If you are feeling a little bit unbalanced, a little bit ungrounded lately, or just mentally chaotic, Know that this completely makes sense and there's nothing wrong with you, yourself, or your own energy. It's just that right now there's kind of a lot attaching to you energetically. Like when I look at your energy field, I see almost all of these strings of attachment. And I'm feeling your guides say that this is temporary. This feels like for many of you, this is really connected with some kind of holiday energy or just the season that we're in collectively. There are so many layers to the attachments that you're feeling. You might not feel that busy sometimes in the physical 3D world, but it's as though your consciousness is extremely busy. Your mind, your spirit is very busy. Working in a lot of different dimensions and realms is what I'm picking up. I know this is a really high level kind of conversation here, but it's really important information for someone listening, because what your guides want you to know is if you're feeling tired or you're feeling ungrounded or you're feeling imbalanced, release any self-judgments around these feelings because they're happening for a reason. If you're feeling really emotionally or spiritually tired, but that doesn't seem to really line up with the amount of physical 3D visible work you're doing at this time, know that you're feeling that tiredness because you are working in other ways. I'm hearing you're working overtime spiritually or energetically to stabilize at so many levels right now. It's happening. It's almost like you've been called to be this stabilizing force energetically and spiritually right now, especially at this somewhat typically chaotic collective time. And so your physical body and your mind and your energy field are all feeling that drain. But again, it serves a purpose, a divine purpose. It has a reason. You're really multitasking at the spiritual level. So I want to channel more into these levels and layers of stabilization here. Okay, with strategy in the upright position, blossoming abundance reversed. Okay, so at the highest level with the crown chakra, blossoming abundance reversed in strategy, you were sent here on this planet to assist with a collective awakening. And that awakening has very much been taking place. You were on the forefront of that awakening. So you most likely awakened much earlier than most people are at this wave of collective consciousness right now incarnated on the planet. However, now many people around you are slowly beginning to wake up. They're beginning to stir in their sleep of unconsciousness, so to speak. And as these others are beginning to awaken, you are leading a way for them. You are forging that path ahead of them, assisting in their awakening, which ultimately is assisting in this collective awakening. With door to spirit upright, I see you as being someone who is highly intuitive, and you might have, in fact, you do have, even if they're not in 3D, there are many souls connected to you spiritually who come to you for support, advice, guidance. Some of this might happen through your dream state or very unconsciously. You are a spiritual leader in your space or your community or your family, wherever you've been planted, whether they consciously recognize you as that in the physical 3D world. I see that many others come to you when they are in need of support, of your stabilization that you provide them. And again, much of this may happen unconsciously. This may happen through dreams. It just feels like there are many people spiritually connected to you who are very much reliant on your energy, but particularly right now, especially with some of the collective chaos on the planet, it feels like more others that are spiritually connected to you are coming to you for this kind of support than usual. Again, some of this might be happening in the physical 3D world. Some of this might be happening through dreams, through completely unconscious, energetic interactions that do leave you feeling a bit drained, but that you might not fully consciously recognize. Other times, you might simply find yourself spending more time physically around certain individuals without really knowing why, and your spirit guides want you to know that this could be a sign that these others unconsciously have asked you for support, and then you feel this inspiration to be around them more frequently, to spend more time with them in the physical 3D world. And at an energetic level, your presence with them is for the purpose of spiritually stabilizing and supporting them, regardless of whether what you are doing together is inherently quote unquote spiritual or not. It could be something very mundane. It could be going for a walk together, getting coffee, just being in the same space, even physically, but your presence has this extremely powerful, energetic impact on the people that you are present with. However, at the same time, you might feel the drain from these people or situations as well, because at a spiritual and energetic level, you're doing a lot of work within these connections and for these others as well. I know that these are really high-level spiritual messages coming through. I'm not sure why all of this information is channeling through this reading. It really feels like someone listening to this reading may have been feeling kind of ungrounded recently and may have needed some of this advice or guidance. So in the extended version of the reading, I will be channeling more Divine Feminine into these different levels and layers of how you are supporting others around you, these kinds of energetic bonds or attachments I'm seeing right now pulling on your energy, and how you might be serving the collective through this energetic work you are doing right now, but also how it might be impacting you. So those more in-depth messages will be in the extended reading on Patreon, which of course is linked in the pinned comment and description box under the video. And of course, we will be channeling much more information and whatever messages want to come through for those of you who join me on Patreon as well. But for now, I'm going to close this YouTube reading here with the card, the Dissolving Light from the Rumi Oracle deck. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. There is a light so intense, so powerful that nothing other than itself, its own truth, can exist in its presence. It is the sacred seed, the star of your being, lit up from within. It is the light that never goes out. It is the light that is so powerful, it is beyond duality of light and dark, cannot ever be extinguished or diminished, and quite simply beyond all logic, just is. The blazing divinity of this light sears through any pretense, annihilates illusions, and takes us into stark experience of divine truth. This really feels like the light within you, your energy, Divine Feminine. The guidebook also says, it is gentleness and yet it cannot be overcome. It is enduring power and yet it is tender. The beloved divine presence is calling you, igniting within your deepest being so that it may have its way with you. Give it up, the smallness, the conditions, the fears and doubts, the lack of reverence for yourself and life, the belief that somehow things are not okay or aren't going to work out. You are coming into a truth that is now far more worthy of you. A truth with a big capital T. Love, trust, surrender. This is about a sacred shedding without fear or holding back. Trust in your changing perspective and perceptions. Allow yourself to be shown another version of events, another way of perceiving. Don't resist what is being shown to you, for even if there are struggles in adjusting your view at first, ultimately this change in perception will free you and bring you more deeply into the wellspring of your own inner peace and happiness. So this feels like a really beautiful place to close this reading. I'm really surprised by a lot of the messages that have come through. This feels like one of those readings that is meant to bring someone guidance for really some potentially draining or confusing energy they might be experiencing right now. So I feel this reading will not connect with everyone, but if it was for you, then I am so grateful that you took the time to connect with this video today. I would love to hear from you in the comments under the video if you do feel guided to share how any of the messages connected. Otherwise, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I will now be heading over to the extended reading on Patreon, so if you are joining me there, you can do so by following the link under the video. I am sending all of you so much love at this time, wishing you a beautiful day, and I will talk to you again in Friday's reading.